I knew something was wrong the moment she laughed. Not the kind of laugh that bubbled up from joy, but the sharp, cutting kind that said she didn't take me seriously. If you run around with him, I'm gone, I told her, my voice low and steady, the words heavy enough to crack the silence in our kitchen. She tilted her head, eyes flashing with something between amusement and defiance. Gone where? She mocked, lips curling into a smirk. That was the moment, though I didn't realize it then, when the ground beneath us started to give way. The weeks that followed blurred into a strange mix of denial and suspicion. Anna still kissed me on the cheek in the mornings, still asked about my day, but her phone became a fortress. Her laughter didn't sound the same. The way she dressed shifted, more deliberate, more daring. I told myself it was a phase, that she needed to feel young again, that I was overthinking. But shadows have a way of creeping in slowly, until you realize you've been sitting in the dark all along. One night, after she claimed she was meeting co-workers for drinks, I sat alone in our living room, the TV humming in the background. My eyes kept darting to the clock. 10 o'clock. 11. Midnight. I texted her, "Everything okay?" Her reply came 10 minutes later. "Yeah, don't wait up. I'll crash at Claire's." Claire. Her reliable alibi. Except Claire's Instagram told a different story. Photos of her curled up at home with her dog. My chest tightened as I stared at the screen. My hand shook so badly I almost dropped my phone. Something in me broke that night, the fragile thread of trust one had been clinging to. The next morning, I tried to play it cool. "How was Claire's?" I asked, casually spreading butter on toast I couldn't bring myself to eat. "Good," she said too quickly, eyes darting away. We stayed up watching movies. Her lie floated between us, poisonous and suffocating. I started watching her more closely. The way her phone never left her side. The way she lingered in the bathroom just long enough for whispered conversations. The scent of cologne that wasn't mine clung faintly to her clothes. Then came the slip. One evening, her phone lit up on the counter while she was in the shower. A name flashed across the screen, Daniel. My heart hammered so loud I swore it would wake the neighbors. I didn't touch the phone. I didn't need to. I already knew. But knowing and accepting are two different things. I confronted her a few days later. "Who's Daniel?" I asked, voice flat, eyes locked on hers. For a second, her mask cracked. A flicker of panic, quickly buried beneath practiced calm. "He's just a friend from work," she said. I leaned forward, forcing her to see the hurt etched across my face. "Friends don't send messages at 2 in the morning." She crossed her arms, defiant. "You're paranoid." "Maybe," I whispered, "but I'm not blind." The breaking point came on a Saturday. She said she was going shopping, but I followed her instead. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly they went numb. I watched her car pull into a small cafe parking lot. And there he was, tall, sharp-featured, the kind of man who knew exactly how good he looked. She lit up when she saw him, her face glowing in a way it hadn't for me in months. Then I saw it, the kiss. Quick, hidden, but undeniable. It felt like watching my own heart being stolen out of my chest. When she came home later, bags in hand, I was waiting. "How was shopping?" I asked, my tone deceptively calm. She blinked, startled, then forced a smile. "Good. Found a few things." "Did Daniel help you pick them out?" The color drained from her face. Silence thickened the room, and for the first time, she couldn't find a lie fast enough. Finally, she snapped. "So what if I did? Maybe I deserve to feel wanted again." Her words sliced through me. Deserve. Wanted. As if everything I had given. Years of love, loyalty, late nights working overtime to build the life we shared, meant nothing. I walked past her, every step heavier than the last, until I reached the closet. Pulling down my old suitcase, I set it on the bed. She watched, wide-eyed. "What are you doing?" "What I said I'd do," I replied, my voice trembling but firm. "If you run around with him, I'm gone." She scoffed, though her voice cracked. "You won't actually leave." I zipped the suitcase shut. The sound was final, sharp, like a door slamming on the life we once had. The hardest part wasn't leaving, it was the silence afterward. Lying alone in a rented apartment, I replayed every memory, every laugh, every whispered promise. Love doesn't vanish overnight, it lingers like a ghost, haunting every corner. I wanted to hate her, but part of me still remembered the girl who once looked at me like I was her world. I wrestled with questions I couldn't answer. Was I not enough? Did I stop seeing her? Did she ever truly love me? Or was I just a chapter in her search for something more? Weeks later, she reached out. A text, then a call. I made a mistake, she whispered over the line, her voice raw. He doesn't mean anything. Please come home. But home wasn't a place anymore. It was a memory, burned to ashes the moment she mocked my warning. I meant what I said, I replied quietly. And you didn't believe me. The silence that followed was heavier than any goodbye. Sometimes betrayal isn't loud. It doesn't always end in screaming matches or shattered dishes. Sometimes it ends with a suitcase zipped shut and a heart that refuses to keep breaking. I warned her. She mocked me. And in the end, I kept my word.